Hello and welcome to Highway, which this week finds us down by the seaside in Bognor Regis. Not as you might imagine for a breath of fresh sea air, but for the scent of sawdust and to meet some rather unusual people. I'd like to join in the fun, but first I must get a taxi. Taxi?
Taxi, sir?
Oh, how do you do? Where are you taking me?
I'd like to take you somewhere funny.
Oh, well, after you.
The colors of my life are softer than a breeze, the silver grey of eiderdown, the dappled green of trees, the splendor of a sunrise, the dazzle of a flame, the glory of a rainbow. I put them all to shame. No quiet browns and grays, I'll take my days instead and fill them till they overflow with rose and cherry red. Should this sunlit world grow dark one day, the colors of my life will leave a shining light to show the way. Your reds are much too bold. In gold I find no worth. I'll fill my days with sage and brown, the colors of the earth. And if from by my side my love should roam, the colors of my life will shine a quiet light to lead her home.
Nothing serious, I hope.
It'll be as right as rain in a minute. Oh, we don't need that either.
Well, I don't want to worry you, but could you spare us a minute?
Of course, yes.
Oh, thank you.
I'll fix that later.
Well, yeah, right. Tell us what this Clowns Convention is all about.
It's a gathering of clowns from all over the world. Hundreds of clowns. In fact, this year, 200.
200, eh?
Coming from all over the world to learn from each other and exchange ideas.
What about Clowns International?
Clowns International is an organisation. It was the first organisation in the world, in fact. It was started here in Great Britain in 1949.
Yeah.
The first organisation to actually bring clowns together.
But tell me, what has the Clowns Convention done for Bognor, then?
It's brought thousands of people to this lovely seaside resort and made it universally known all over the world as Clownstown. Bognor Regis, Clownstown, the gathering place for all the clowns.
Well, thanks for talking to us. I know you're
Pleasure.
going to try and fix your car up. I'll
Of
leave you
course.
to it. Thanks a lot. Well, while Jojo's fixing his car, I'm going to listen to Gemma Craven, currently starring in South Pacific, singing a song which couldn't be more appropriate for this week, Send in the Clowns.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Send in the clouds. Isn't it rich? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Just when I'd stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines. No one is there. Don't you love us? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother. They're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. And where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next
Many people don't realise how much hard work a clown has to put in to perfect his act, especially with the props he uses. I'm sure the laughter they collect is ample reward. Anyway, someone who knows all about it is Sammy Sunshine. Sammy, it's nice to meet you.
And you, Sir Harry.
Now, all this is very hard work, isn't it?
It is,
It
yes.
represents
it
a
is.
lot of graft.
Yes. My wife makes the suits, the
Yes.
costumes, we have a go make the boots. We try and be original.
Yeah.
Takes hours and hours, but we do get satisfaction, as you've just said.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
Now, the boots, for example, what are they made of?
Yeah, they're made of fibreglass.
Yeah.
My original boots are made of sponge.
Yeah.
And they rotted after about a year. So I got a boat builder. We made a mould, fibreglass.
A boat builder?
Yeah, fibreglass boat builder.
Yes.
He made the two halves for me.
Yeah.
I put the welly boot inside, poured the expanding polystyrene in, and couldn't get my foot out. Really?
Yeah.
Cost nearly a hospital to cut it back, but we got there in the end, as you can see.
The cow's nodding.
Yes, yes. I think she's a little bit uncomfortable here. We bought this as a, standard skin, but we put the gags on it.
Yeah.
Can I show you?
Yeah, sure. Love to see it.
Could you help me for a
But
second?
of course, yeah.
It's milking time because we've got coffee up for the boys. For
But
the
of
clowns.
course, yes.
It's a tail job.
A tail job,
Yes,
is it? Right.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Can we start pumping?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, steady, Harry, steady.
Sammy, what do you expect to gain from the convention?
Well, it's an opportunity to meet all our other pros, clowns in the business. As you know, they're coming from all over the world now. But it is a chance to meet clowns, our pros we don't get a chance to meet while we're working. We swap ideas, even props, ideas. Oh, yes, yeah, we help each other out. You know, somebody can see a different angle and, oh, I use this, and we find it all rubs off. And, of course, mainly 1,000 local children in the procession, that's got to be. And they come to the shows and the feedback. It's just fantastic. Well, thank you, Sir Harry, for helping with Daisy.
No bother.
But you will excuse me, we have to go. It's coffee time for about over 200 clowns, you know, and they need feeding.
But a catering.
Yes. Would you like a chicken sandwich?
Oh, thank you, yes. Oh, all for me. What about you?
Oh, I have one.
Oh.
Yes, that's fine.
That looks a bit high. Clowns and music have always gone together. Very often in their seemingly ridiculous attempts to master the simplest of instruments, they make themselves the object of great mirth. Others, like Raimondo, a leading European clown and skilled musical artist, have got their fun by making the simplest objects into sophisticated musical instruments. The origin of modern clowning goes back almost 200 years, when a young comedy actor, Joe Grimaldi, landed a part in a pantomime called Mother Goose. That casting immortalized both Grimaldi and the play. Over the next 40 years, he worked almost continuously, achieving immense popularity, and a legendary status which influenced the careers of the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Danny Kaye, Marcel Marceau, many years on. Grimaldi was so popular that his own nickname, Joey, became synonymous for clown. He left behind a legacy of wonderful comedy, and this thought to his devotees: in my solitary hours, my thoughts often dwell upon the past, and there's one circumstance which always affords me unmitigated satisfaction. It is simply that I cannot recollect one single instance in which I have intentionally wronged man, woman, or child, and this gives me great satisfaction and comfort. The world of clowns is dominated by men, but there are exceptions. Now, underneath all that makeup, you're a lady, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
She's Dee Dee, the clowness, children's entertainer and ventriloquist. Now, why do you think there are so few lady clowns?
Because it's a very hard job to do, and it's a man's world.
Of course, it's a physically difficult job, isn't it, being a clown?
It is, yes, because you've got to keep going at all costs. But I'm a mother of two children as well.
Are you?
Yes, yes, so I've got those to think of as well. So.
Do they laugh at you?
Yes, they do. I test everything out on them.
Do you?
Yes. If they don't laugh, I don't use it.
How did you choose your makeup, by the way?
Wasn't my original makeup.
Wasn't it?
My original makeup wasn't very nice at all.
Wasn't it?
And a friend of mine helped me develop this makeup. And I feel much happier, much more confident with this.
Because it's very important, isn't it, the makeup?
It is, because you're not sort of hiding behind it. This is actually you.
Yeah.
And what it portrays is how you feel. Yes, so it is very important to feel right and look right.
One of Bognor Regis's unique contributions to the International Clown Convention is this barbershop quartet. Did I say quartet? Nothing of the sort. Because underneath all those clown costumes are 30 members of the Ladies' Barbershop Choir, called Aaron Sound. Here they are singing Laugh, Clown, Laugh.
Laughing on the outside.
One of the great joys of the clown convention is the mingling of clowns with children and the infectious sharing of joy and laughter. Each year, groups of clowns visit the schools and institutions in the Bognor Regis area in the build-up to the two-day festival. I'm here at South Bested Church, and I'm going in to talk to two men, Roly Baines and Patrick Forbes. And the subject matter is one I find quite fascinating, what you might call the holiness of laughter. Patrick and Roly, this might be very difficult for some people to understand, but you're both Church of England vicars, aren't you?
Yep. Right, yes.
Now, I'll ask you first, I think. What is the role of humour in the church?
Humour, Harry, is about reality. It's about the truth. And if going to church and being the church is all about gloom and doom and long faces and sober-looking people, it's bad news. And in the faith, in believing, there is much humour. And it's very important that that should be reflected in the church.
Roly, do you think some people might consider it sacrilegious to take Holy Communion dressed as a clown?
I hope not, because I mean I would and I have,
Yeah.
and I mean this is me. I mean part of the church welcomes everybody, especially clowns, because clowns speak of God, speak of Jesus, speak of all sorts of things.
So what's the origin of clowns and fools in church history then?
Well, it goes back beyond the church. I think the prophets of the 7th and 8th centuries BC were fools. They were truth-tellers, and they said outrageous things and got beaten up for it. And if you think, well, that's really what happened to Christ. He was a prophet, he was a fool, he told the truth as he saw it, and look at the kind of trouble he got into.
Jesus as a clown. Do you see him as a clown at all?
Yes, indeed, because a clown is about all kinds of apparent opposites. It's about life and death. He's about joy and sadness. He's about suffering and excitement, and a clown is always getting put down. And the worst tragedy that can ever happen in a circus is the clown actually does die. But most of the time, thank God, he doesn't. The clown keeps bouncing back, and that is what Christians are called to do. No matter what happens to us, we're supposed to bounce back, the resurrection, Christ coming back, even after death.
Rowley Bain and two members of the Cavalcade Theatre Company performed their version of a parable for me.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I only want to know how to pray. You tell me to stand up, kneel down, close my eyes, count me beads. Then you start shouting numbers at me. I don't know if I'm ordering a Chinese meal or playing bingo. It's stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm just going to talk to him, man to God.
In Latin?
No, I'll just talk to him.
What are you going to say?
Hello, God.
Well, I suppose that's a start.
I'm nervous.
We'll help you.
We'll use the words Jesus taught us.
We'll start with
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I danced in the morning when the world was begun, and I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun, and I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. At Bethlehem I had my birth. Dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance setting, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance setting. I danced on the side and the Pharisee, but they wouldn't dance and they wouldn't follow me. I danced on the fishermen for James and John, they came with me and the dance went on. Dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance setting, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance setting. I danced on the sands and I killed the lake. The holy people said it was a shame. They whipped and they stripped and they held me high and left me there on the cross to die. Dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance setting, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance setting. They cut me down and I left up high. I am the life that will never, never die. I live in you if you live in me. I am the Lord of the dance setting. Dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance setting, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance setting.
That was a group of children from the South Bairstead School singing that jubilant hymn, The Lord of the Dance. One of the unique features of any clown is his makeup. No two are alike, and each one is guarded like a hallmark. Jan Webb carries on the traditional technique of registering each clown's face print. As no makeup can be copied, it is hoped by Clowns International, who asked Jan to work for them, that this collection will become the basis of a permanent exhibition to be housed in the Clowns Gallery at their official church, Holy Trinity, in Dalston, East London. Today she's working on the face of Salvo, a clown with an interesting story to tell. Now, your first clown's name was Stepbright, wasn't it?
That's right,
And now you're
yes.
called Salvo.
That's
Why
right.
did you change your name?
Well, in about 1976, a Salvation Army officer of Rayleigh Corps, I'd got the opportunity to work with him, and he felt it an appropriate name, as I was a Christian, to change it to the name of Salvo.
What was Step Right then?
Well, I was working with a circus called Circus Americano, and my job on that show was a boom man, which means standing outside and actually asking them to step right this way.
Oh, I see. As you just said, you're a Christian, a committed Christian. How did that come about?
Well, I was working with a circus that was asked to provide a circus big top for a crusade called the Way to Life Crusade, which was led by Dick Saunders in 1974. And I went with the circus unit to provide this. While I was there, I got to know the Lord Jesus and attended one of their meetings, and at the end they asked for people to go forward, and I felt within myself that that was a necessary move to make. And since that time in life, my life has completely changed, for the good, I'm glad to say, because I had a motorbike accident in '73 which put paid to my career as a clown in the circus, and I thought that was going to be the finish. But a Christian asked me to do a job for him, and it went from there, and it snowballed until now I've become a charity clown. But the main emphasis is that the Lord uses me to, where possible, to bring the word of the Lord Jesus into people's lives that may not already know him.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us. The character of the broken-hearted clown occurs so often in literature and music. And probably one of the best-known clowns of all is Canio in Leoncavallo's opera I Pagliacci. I always get a very special thrill when I sing one of Grand Opera's finest arias, Vessi la Giuba.
Recitar mentre preso dall'idilio non so più quel che dico o quel che faccio, eppure dopo sforzati, va, sai tu forse o no? Tu sei Pagliaccio. Vesti la giubba e la faccia infarina, la gente paga per ridere dove qua, Arlechin tildo la combina, ridi Pagliaccio e ognuno t'applauderà. Pronta il lazio spasto del pianto, in la smorfia il singhiozzo e il dolor. Ridi Pagliaccio, sul tuo amore infranto, ridi del duol che t'avvelena il cor.
That's all for this week. But the people I've met here have inevitably brought to my mind the beautiful clown's prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for calling me to share with others your most precious gift of laughter. May I never forget, it's your gift and my privilege. I'm not a clown, but I'd be happy to think that those words in some way apply to me. Next week, Highway comes to Sunderland. I'll see you then. All the best, Jojo.
Bye-bye.